I'm live. Let's try this again. This is exactly how I want to be spending a holiday. This is what I dreamed about doing, having technical fucking difficulties. On a holiday, 1 week before New Year's Day. Yeah. Is it gonna work? This is exactly how I want to be spending a holiday. I think it's gonna work. This is what I dreamed about doing, having full. Okay, maybe this works. So, actually not crying, my eyes just drippy. So if this is gonna work, I need to take off the, just the extra AI devil worship. Take that off. No chat summary, no leaderboard, no live reactions. We do not worship the devil on this channel. I think that fixed it. Okay, just gonna keep talking here. I'm gonna get my screens opened up like I do before I go live. And then I will check the audio to see if it's still okay. And then tweet this out live. Because it's the most exciting thing to see people on their phone when they're on camera. Nothing's gonna make you look, I mean, you already look rude as hell if somebody's talking to you and you just whip out your phone without being like, oh hey, I gotta look something up. But it's somehow worse when you're live because it's just expected for you to pay attention to the camera. So if you're specifically not, like, what the hell? Like, we're not here? Getting closer. I got YouTube open up. I've got Twitch here. Oh, what's up to Patrick on YouTube? And we owe you Bill Cooper over on Twitch. What's up? Pardon any lag. I will check the audio again as soon as I get that fixed. Hard to see. Okay, fucking Nikki, I'm Carolyn. Don't sue me for playing your content on my channel. So far, so good. All right, great. So I will have to be checking this for the entire show, but at least I can get on with it, hopefully. I am living in fear of any breaks I take in my speaking. This is the one time, like Indians speak in a way where there are no sentences. It's just like one big long word. I can't speak that way, but if I could, my audio might not have messed up yesterday. You stop to read your notes, and everything falls apart. Didn't bump nothing. Didn't touch a damn thing. FML. And if I can't get this fixed, I'll buy the $200 camera and all of this goes in the suicide note. I can't take it anymore. But yeah, Herobrine should be in vanilla Minecraft. Patrick says audio sounds fine. Yeah, like it was fine yesterday. It was fine for the whole show. And then just for whatever reason, it started messing up. And it was like that. I had to watch my own show, so I had to deal with it too. And it just did that. And I don't know how to fix it. I can't fix that. And it's just bad for live from Collinsport, exclamation point, return, paste, erase the question mark and everything after it whenever you share a link. Copy that, post that, go to Twitter. was the exact same thing. Tits, I'm in there. Great, that's all I can do. Yeah, Herobrine should just be in vanilla Minecraft. I don't mean he should be jump scaring you. I don't think he should be, like burning down leaves on trees. Nothing creepy like that. Because vanilla Minecraft, even if you just play solo, creative, peaceful, that's already creepy. But just have it so, and you can have a slider bar. You can turn it up to 100 and make it creepier. You can turn it off. But the thing is, it would just be like specifically if I'm fishing, I'm completely still, so I'm just sort of looking around. So wouldn't it be nice and creepy just way off in the distance? I can't reach him. I could never run that fast, but just have him standing out there with his wide eyes. He doesn't have to wave. He could just stand there on the edge of a field and then just vanish how he does in mods. Just have that totally random. It wouldn't even happen like in game, let's say, like maybe once a week, maybe longer. Again, you could set it to happen more often. It might happen once a month, but just have it in there. Just so maybe once in a while you come across just one part of a forest with no leaves, but not an all the time thing. Not I don't want people to be paranoid playing it, but just have that in there just so you know if you randomly see it, it's not your imagination. They put it in there. It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to like damage you or your equipment, nothing like that. But just put it in there for funsies. For funsies, it's been teased for so long, and it's become an urban legend. And they're like, no, it's not in there at all, and you have to put it in with mods. Put it in vanilla. Just put it in Java vanilla. I don't play Bedrock. That's the Microsoft version. I'm not interested in that. It sounds too easy. Really, the only thing I would be interested in about Bedrock, Minecraft, and it's kind of a little thing. It's just that the fact when you have your cauldron and you can dye leather, the water in the cauldron will be a different color on Bedrock, and with that you can make like giant pixel art. If you zoom out and you have hundreds of them, and it looks like Mario or something like that. I want to just have purple water. Just for that reason. But I'm not interested in playing Bedrock. Some people exclusively play it. You look up stuff and you're like, how come this doesn't apply to my game? Well, it's a completely different. So I'm not interested in that. Patrick said, hopefully you can find a computer repairer locally. If he was here, I'd fix it for you, gratis. That's a great thought. I can't afford to have anything repaired. My money ran out. I've got to, I applied for a loan. I don't think I'm going to get approved for it, but I did apply. Um, yeah, I've got some super chats. I need to activate Stripe to get into, uh, but yes, like my other laptop, there's no fixing that. I can't afford to take that to a place. If this stuff fucks up, I will just have to order a $200 camera that does 60 FPS. If I buy anything else new, I don't care how much I have to not eat. What's up, Wheelie Bill Cooper? Um, just so I don't have to have the stress, because it doesn't just stress me out. I know it bothers, it irks other people, and to have to deal with technical issues they can't control, and so it's just that much worse for me knowing folks have to put up with that, and I don't know how to fix it. I can't afford to fix it. Um, but I don't expect anything to get better. So it's just what else? Like what else? Tom Collins, we're here. What's up? Glad you made it. Smash that like button. It helps out the channel. What's up, B Chap? Pardon me a second. Oh no, I am crying. I'm so pissed off. And I'm sweating. That's not gonna. That's not good. I should have worn. I should have worn this shirt yesterday because today's maybe a couple of degrees hotter, but it is what it is. You really can't see me sweating until I touch my hair, so it doesn't show up on camera. And it feels stupid to have flop sweat when you're 97 pounds. That never stops. Maybe it does in the winter, but I don't know if I'm gonna make it that long. So I'm gonna very carefully. I don't know. Well, where the audio messed up, I kind of got lucky. It was like at the end of episode 45, so it was the last episode I covered at the last episode. So if you get to the hour 39-minute mark, you don't want to watch the rest. Don't worry about it. I kind of just talked about Minecraft a bit, but before that, the episode 45 was the one that was must have been long. This was on August 26, 1966. I'm not going to go through the whole episode, just where it messed up for me. But we had gotten to the part where Carolyn had that pen that Burke gave her, and she's showing it to Roger, and he's just like, that is too expensive of a gift to accept from any man, especially him. You're gonna return it. Like, there's just no bones about it. And that line, if you act like a child, I'll treat you like a child. But this is when Bill Malloy had called Roger and asked, have you decided what you're going to do? And Roger said, I decided I'm not going to let you tell me what to do. Or, well, Bill Malloy was in Roger's office for that. So Bill, he gets on Roger's phone, he calls up Burke, tells him to meet at the Blue Whale. LB Chap said, similar situation here. Pardon me, my nose is dripping. Not too long ago, the colder winter weather months, was complaining about the cold weather. Surface area motion winds now, it's affecting, so to speak, yeah. Tom Collins said, I don't have to wonder if anyone truly cares here. Glad I found you. Yeah, everybody's awesome people. Frankly's are great people. But yeah, we're in Collinwood in the living room. Carolyn is apologizing for following Burke to Bangor, and it was just because the Collins family is so mysterious about him. That's what makes him intriguing. And Carolyn tells Roger that Burke met with a James Blair, and Mr. Harris and Bill Malloy have heard of him, and he's looking into the Collins family interests. But Roger assumes Bill's trying to stop Burke himself, but he won't let Burke use, Roger himself as a sacrifice to save the family. So Roger is always looking out for number one, himself, no matter what. He's accommodating with some other people like Carolyn, but on the whole, when it comes down to it, it's all about him. But at the Blue Whale, Bill tells Burke that he will give him Roger if he leaves the rest of the Collins family alone. So meet at Roger's office at 11 p.m. to settle this once and for all. And that's how episode 45 ended. Hopefully we got to hear that and the audio was less tinny. I'm going to check it right now. Oh, have I clicked on this video yet? Maybe I have. Have I? Yeah, possibly. Hopefully we got to hear that and the audio was... All right, we got the end of episode 45. Sweet. So we're kind of, I would say these are like commercial breaks, but you're not missing anything. All you're missing is me standing up and covering up my TV with a couple pillowcases because the light in front of me reflects off of it. And I can't do a 2-hour show like that. I'm sure that was very graceful. Good as hell, you can't see that. It's like I'm gonna pull it down again in another episode. Who the hell cares? So I'm finally caught up to where I was last night at 9 p.m. It sucks that you have to wait an entire 22 hours to get back to where you were. FFS, FML. So anyway, Dark Shadows, episode 46. This is new territory on this channel. This aired August 29, 1966. Oh, beach up yet out of the warm, humid weather. It was warm today, like maybe, I don't know, 26, 28, but I stay inside most days. Oh, one to go to. Glad you made it. Watch the first E46 stream now. My mobile won't show this live, but I'm glad I made it here on my desktop. It's weird. Look for the one that says Dark Shadows episode 46 asterisk and then a number 2. That's what we're on right now. Can I rename that? I'm going to have to leave it. I'll rename it after the show. I don't know how many episodes I'm going to get through. So we'll see. But yeah, episode 46. It is still that 4th day. It's only been 4 days on the show. Damn. Patrick, 10 degrees Celsius here, still pretty chilly. I'll take some of that off of you. I'll take, yeah, I'll trade you about, at 10 degrees, that's fine. I could just put on I mean, I'm wearing shorts now, I guess I could put on pants later. So it is nighttime. We are in the Collinwood foyer. Roger is about to leave. But Burke Devlin phones saying to me at Roger's office at 11 p.m. and Bill Malloy set it up. Roger's like, like WTF. So in the living room, Roger phones Bill Malloy's home. And we don't hear this person, but he speaks to a Mrs. Johnson. That's Bill's housekeeper. But she does not know where Bill is. So Victoria comes down. She's looking for David Drew something, and she wants to encourage him in his artistic endeavors. So she's looking for that. I guess it was good. Just cannot find it. And asks if Roger's seen it. Roger does not care. He's thinking about this meeting. He doesn't care about his son anyway, and he's really not trying to think about him right now. And Roger just kind of saying that, unlike David, I was full of love and promise of a full life ahead. Maybe he's better off being jaded about the world so young. Frick. But Victoria's going on about this. She wants David to be a real artist, and she tells Roger she's going to have dinner with Maggie and her artist father. Roger's like, Sam Evans? So, let me tell you about him. And then he says Dark Shadows, drink. He actually says Dark Shadows. This is the first time it happens, episode 46. It doesn't happen a lot. It's going to happen at least one more time, but he says it. So then at the Evans cottage, Sam is catching up on painting, getting back into it. So Bill tells him he's going to the meeting at 11 p.m. with Burke and Roger. Like, you're coming to the meeting, Sam. You don't have a choice. And Sam's like, oh, hell no. Fuck off. In so many words. So Bill tells him, he's like, well, I told Burke that you said you're the only thing standing between Roger and a prison. Then he tells Sam to be there. Bill is not messing around. Oh, Tom Collins says we have carpenter bees here in Mendocino. Mendocino County. My father was a cruising carpenter. Oh, that's cool. It's a bee that fixes stuff. But like if Jesus had just... Okay. Oh, Jules, what's up? Glad you made it. Oh, she says, I wasn't allowed to watch Dark Shadows. Can't follow. Just listening to your familiar voice. Okay, yeah, this is... a lot of people have not seen the beginning, so it's okay. It might not have been what you were catching at the time. This was a pre-Jonathan Frid. Oh, what's up, Pete? Glad you made it. Hello, Nikki and all. Hope everyone is doing well. As long as the audio holds out, then I'm doing fine. So hard to have a good day. And to be fair, maybe a little bit later on, I started to notice it. Maybe you'll notice it too. But Dark Shadows was on for a year. They were going to get the axe. They made some changes. Then they were on for 4 more years. So if it does feel a little bit like where is this going, you're not the only one. Things change. Oh, thank you. Pete says he likes my shirt. This is my Not Today Satan. Grace still plays. I don't know if you can see it. I've got it. I've got the white sheet, light purple bandana, then a dark purple bandana because I was too dark when I did the two dark purple ones. But a link in the description. GraceStillPlays.com. Not affiliated. I just love his channel. I apologize for the way the website looks. It's like 1991. Had a seizure on it. It's very painful to look at. Wait until there's a sale. I got this. He was doing a Black Friday sale, and I got this. I got 2 shirts actually. So wait for that. I could. It's next year, so I don't know and I don't care. But I would assume if he's going to have a sale, a lot of people are doing Black Friday sales last year around that time. Look out for that. It might just be 10%, but it's 10%. It's something. And he's got a whole bunch of other stuff there. He's got other slogans, mouse pads, mugs, all kinds of things, hoodies. So at the living room, Roger tells Victoria that Sam is an unpleasant drunk. And she should meet with another artist so people won't gossip about the Collins family. Like, oh, what's the governess of the Collins family doing talking to Sam Evans? Whisper, whisper. Tom Collins, House of the Homeless at Home. Oh no. So Victoria's just like, she doesn't understand why Roger does not want her to meet Sam. She's just I'm new in town and someone was kind enough to invite me to dinner, but all right. If you say so. So over in the foyer, Bill is there and he demands to see Roger. And so Victoria, she really doesn't want to bother Roger because he's, kind of in a mood. And so she asks Bill if he knows Sam. And Bill says, well, I'm about to find out tonight. Oh, cryptic. So Roger hears Bill going off. Bill's just kind of like when his voice wants to get loud, and not necessarily like vaudeville loud, but when he wants to project and get loud, you notice he's being serious. So he goes out, he's in there now, and now Roger's going off on Bill for arranging a meeting for himself. Like, you don't tell me where I'm supposed to go. Who do you think you are? You work for me. She's just completely not having it. So in the living room, Roger is still going off. Like, I'll get you fired. And Bill says, not before the meeting tonight. So you, me, and Sam know Burke is innocent. And this decision was not easy for him. It's not, as determined as Bill is, it's not easy for him to be doing this. So maybe he's a little bit afraid of the fallout, but he's an honest guy. He wants the truth to come out no matter who it affects. So you got to kind of respect him for that. And Bill says it came down to either Roger or the Collins family, and he is not going to let Liz pay for something that Roger did. Roger says, Burke's out now. That's in the past. He's rich now. It doesn't matter. Bill says, it's 10 p.m. I'm going straight home. You can call me there if you decide to go to the cops. If not, be at your office. Deuces. The clock chimes. It is 10:15 p.m. So Victoria asks if Sam is the guy she met on Widow's Hill the day she arrived. And I'm like, why doesn't Roger want her to meet him? Is it because Sam knows something about her past? Roger cracks up. He loses his shit. It's kind of rude because we know Victoria just wants to find out things about her past. She thinks maybe Sam knows about her past. She asks Roger about it. He laughs at her face. It was as nasty as he's been. I think this is the rudest thing he's done, and he doesn't realize it. But he honestly LOLs. It's very inconsiderate, and I don't have time for this. So Victoria says, "Well, I'm gonna meet Sam anyway," and leaves like mic drop. Like, bam, you're not gonna stop me. Bill Malloy and Victoria do what they want despite Roger's wishes. He goes off, he puts his foot down, and like a cat, they're just gonna do it anyway. So at Roger's office, Burke's already there. And then Sam comes in about a minute later, and he's really nervous. Not nervous like when he was at Collinwood, but just nervous, like in a doctor's office, nervous. Oh, Thomas says Bill's supposed to have a vodka with me at the boat dock. He really should. I think he needs a drink to calm down. I know he's serious, but he needs to chill just a bit. Oh yeah, I'm glad you guys like the Not Today Satan shirt. I did get it. I had to get the long sleeve shirt. I want to say it's a child's large, but it fits me like an X. Like this is a small, and it's like a regular like t-shirt. It's really long though. Like if I was not wearing shorts, it would still cover everything. And it's a small, but you get a child size large because it's long sleeve and it fits like an extra small, so it feels tighter. I don't like my clothes that tight, but I like a long sleeve shirt. You have to suffer for fashion at every size. So Burke's in there. Sam shows up. About another minute later, Roger shows up, and he's like, "Where's Bill Malloy?" And Burke's like, "It's only 11:02. It can wait a few more minutes. I've been waiting 10 years." Damn, I forgot about that line. So Roger left at about 10:25 p.m. He must have driven the whole way there at 20 miles an hour. Nothing in Collinwood is that far away. Like whenever anybody's talking about traveling, like nothing's an hour away in town. If you need to go anywhere in town, the most it's going to take is 30 minutes, and that's if you're dicking around. Usually when people are like, "Oh, I have to go to the Collinsport Inn from Collinwood," they're there in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, maybe 20. So nothing is, if you're driving, nothing is that far. So if it was, again, like the clock is chiming 10:15, and he spoke to Victoria, left about 10 minutes later. It doesn't take a half an hour to drive anywhere, so he must have just been going super, like when you put your foot down on the gas and you just like coast for as long as you can. He must have been driving. It was not in a hurry to get there. But maybe he had to drive slow. Probably had to the way he's been drinking. I mean, damn. Roger does hit the bottle. I mean, I have been writing it down, but it really does. Every time he walks through the door of the living room, he has to go to the wet bar. Every single time. But Sam Evans is the drunk. He's the one who's drunk more often than he's sober. And that is episode 46. Just checking my audio. Room. He has to go to the wet bar. Okay, still good. Great. I really didn't want to have to break these up into talking about each episode individually in its own video. But if my equipment is being ridiculous, I can be ridiculouser. I know that's not a word. Hang on. Don't get silly with me. I grew up on the Marx Brothers. You're not going to out absurd me. Because dumb as you think things are, I will double down. Patrick, I ran out for coffee, so drinking Darjeeling tea, which isn't the end of the world. Is that good? Is that okay? I've heard of it, never tried it. You want to know what a nasty tea is? Earl Grey. I thought I would like it because of the name. It says gray. what happened to that Earl? Oh, that poor guy. It's just I've tried to block it out how bad it is. How can tea taste that bad? But I want to try Darjeeling just because Al Swearingen in Deadwood says he likes that kind. Maybe he calls it black Darjeeling. I forget. I haven't watched that in a few years. I do have it. Love me some Deadwood. I got this used, and I want to say it was $30, so you're paying like $10 a season. It's white. It's Deadwood, and it's got like bonus disc stuff in there. It's oh, I love that show so much. Not one episode is bad. Haven't seen the movie. Oh, has one of my favorite things ever in there. It's a scene. It has a couple other actors. It has Powers Booth. Yeah, they do get to mitigating this last part here. So episode 47 was August 30th, 1966. It's still that fourth night. We are in the living room at Collinwood. It is 11:07 p.m. I believe we do get to see the clock for that shot. And it's odd when they do the times like that. It's never like such and such 05. It's like it's never. Sometimes it's like the time whatever 22. It's never like on the 5 or the 0 or whatever. Like they do these weird in between times. So it's like I gotta strain my eyes even farther. Thanks a lot. I'm not gonna turn the sharpness up every time. But Liz is playing the piano. I want to say I don't know if it's necessarily the actress or she's just miming it and somebody's playing off camera. She's got her hair down, so like shoulder length hair. It does this kind of curl thing. Don't think about my hair when you think about Liz's hair. Her hair is still alive. But Carolyn comes in and Liz stops and Carolyn wants her to keep playing. That's when Carolyn says it's 10 after 11. So it took her 3 minutes to walk from the edge of the living room door up to Liz. It's not that far of a walk. It's 2 steps. But again, we're getting into the thing where like characters will say what's true for them. It might not be factually true for the universe. Maybe she just sort of glanced at the clock, wasn't really paying too close attention. So that's when you as the viewer can't take everything the characters say as truth because it's all from their perspective. They could be completely wrong. Yeah, said she needs her eyes checked. Girl, I thought my vision was bad. But Liz can't sleep. She has a bad feeling. So she goes over to the phone. She phones Bill's house, but nobody answers. And then the clock chimes. It's not the Collinwood clock always chimes on the quarter hour. It plays like the full little like chime bell thing on the hour. And like you get a little chime at whatever 15. You get a longer chime at whatever 30. An even longer chime at whatever 45. And then you get the full song at midnight at the top of the hour. That kind of a grandfather clock. So there's no reason why it should be chiming off for at least another over 5 minutes. But the clock does chime. What's up, John Rogers? Glad you made it. Could be, yeah. Patrick saying Earl Grey is good, maybe just a bit too perfumey for you. It could be Darjeeling is one of India's finest teas. I'll try the Darjeeling out. I did because I had a variety pack, so I had like a breakfast blend and maybe an Irish blend. There wasn't alcohol in it. Maybe another kind, and maybe it's because I was having with the other ones, I was comparing them, but it was just not my. I would not go for it again. But like, oh, I'll just hot water for me. I'm good. I don't want the calories. No, there's no calories in tea. That's a fun thing about tea and coffee. It's look for flavored drinks that don't have coffee in it. You add, creamer and sugar, then you're in for it. But before that, 0 calories. So Carolyn asks Liz if she thinks something happened to Bill, and then Liz denies it. So Carolyn brings up the fact that she and Roger argued over a pen, And Roger's acting weird and said people have to do anything to protect themselves. So Liz leaves to go speak with Roger. Now the clock chimes 11:30 p.m. That was a long conversation. So at Roger's office, it's calling Bill, but the phone just rings and rings. Nobody answers, whatever. So Sam and Roger act like they don't know why Bill told them to be there. Like, I don't know. I assumed he would say what he wanted us to hear when he showed up, but he hasn't showed up yet, so I don't know why we're here. We just showed up to be nice. So Burke says, let's get into it. Now, Bill Malloy has information about my trial. Roger testified I was guilty. You know that's a lie. So Sam must know something or he wouldn't be here. So Burke's just, putting it together in front of them. But of course they just, I don't know what you're talking about. We don't got nothing to do with it. Just deny. I don't know what you're talking about. So Burke goes out. He says, I'm going to go find Bill. Be here when I get back. So we're back in the living room. And Liz is just worried AF. Like she's fretting. She's wringing her hand. She's pacing. Just that kind of way. But Carolyn came in. She made tea. Love the way, like those teacups at the Collins that they have. Love those cups so much. Cute little tea service. Brings it in all on the tray. And then she wonders what Roger meant by he wouldn't let him, what did Roger mean by he wouldn't be a sacrificial lamb? And Liz says she feels death walked into Collinwood. Then she says, did you hear a car pull up? She looks out the window. And then she wonders where Roger is. She went to go find him. He's not in the house, so she's just down there fretting. John Rogers, I was watching 23 minutes behind. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I've been having audio issues. I had 2 shows go up tonight. It's just a giant clusterfuck. This is what I need on a holiday 1 week before New Year's Day. The stress never ends. So at Roger's office, there's Sam. He says Burke won't find Bill at home. Roger says, how do you know? Sam's like, if Bill were home, he'd have answered the phone. Roger says that Sam is an accessory after the fact and could do time too. So keep your mouth shut and Bill and Burke can't touch us. So Burke comes back saying Bill Malloy wasn't home, but his car was. And Roger says, Bill likes to walk. I mean, that kind of makes sense. You spend all of your time on a boat, you might want to get some use out of your legs. But Burke decides that they'll wait. Oh, John Rogers says it's a YouTube thing. Yeah, it's just, it's always something. They decide Burke decides for them they're going to wait. It is 11:55 p.m. By that time, Roger's like, I'm tired. Sam's like, me too. Yeah, me too. Let's go. All right, Burke's like, whoa. Let will wait. Let's just give him a few more minutes. Roger's not on it. He's like, well, I guess we'll find out what Bill wanted at his next meeting. Then he's like, oh, wait, before I go, he reaches into his coat. He's going to return that pen to Burke, but it's not on him. I had it. I was going to return it. Oh, well, maybe I just dropped it somewhere. Then he offers to give Sam a ride home. Thomas, Roger's sniffing glue. He's on something. He's just, it can't just be the alcohol doing this to him. Maybe he's got another, habit we just don't get to see. I don't know. Not saying he's hyper like that. So Burke, picks up the phone. He's trying to call Bill again before everybody leaves. Like, hold on, well, let me just see if he's at the house one more time. But as he's, dialing and waiting for it to ring, the other two just like, yeah, you do that. They really do. Like, dude's on the phone. There's the door closed. I love when the show is unintentionally funny. So we're back in the living room. Carolyn called Collinwood 3 times at midnight on Halloween one year, but Liz didn't answer the phone, and it totally ruined Carolyn's prank in front of her friends. And Liz actually like laughs. We don't get to see her like smile too much. We rarely see her laugh. Here's one time. They're just reminiscing. And she was too scared to answer the phone, and she thought it was the Collinwood ghost. She's like, it's midnight on Halloween. The phone rings. I wasn't gonna answer the phone. So that's cute. They're just having a little reminiscing moment. And Carolyn wants her to laugh more. And Liz is noticing, oh, it's getting late. You should get your beauty sleep. And she's gonna wait up for Roger. Liz is. The clock chimes midnight. It's day 5. That's almost a full business week. Roger comes back home, goes into the living room. What do you think he does first? Pours a drink. And he just says to Liz, oh, I was at a business meeting. Like it's not, he like, if something he doesn't want anybody to think it's important, he just talks like it was just nothing, like he just had to brush a piece of dust off of a table, like, eh. Thomas Collins, yeah, industrial waste of the family tree. Dear God, Roger is just. Ugh. If you want to stop and think about, like, we don't know everything he's done yet in the show. I do, you don't. But if you want to stop and think about all, like, the things he's done, just. Ugh. I see why you're everybody's second choice. If this is the way you act with it, yeah. He has his good qualities, but he's got a lot of bad qualities, too. Patrick thought Ohio was a bit state for America. Got family there in Akron. Yeah, Akron is about, I want to say maybe an hour away. It's more towards Cleveland ways, but like we're up on the water, but Akron is just going to be like a little bit south of that. I don't know if I've ever been there. It's close enough. It's not that, if it's an hour away, it's not that far. But yeah, it's, I would assume they have Starbucks and a Walmart and a place that has bacon. Uh, I'm really only interested in going to places that have Franklies, and then the only other places I'm interested in going to are like towns I haven't been to in my Minecraft survival. The interest in travel kind of goes away when you're broke. I could go there, but I can't do anything there but drive through it. So what's the point? I'm sure that they have like nice things here, but it's just the way they've been building stuff up around my town. I don't even go around and look at stuff in my town because when I drive around, it's like I've never been here before because they're putting up new stuff and painting everything gray. Like, oh, I guess we got one of those now. Roger's back, has that drink. Liz says that Bill Malloy said that he can prove you sent Burke to prison for your crime. And Rogers says that, yeah, he's responsible for Burke going to prison because he testified against him. Then he suggests himself, Liz, and Bill Malloy have a meeting to sort this out. And then we get a shot of the foyer for the credits. Let me try this again. I think if it's okay after this, I'll stop doing it. Yeah, so Roger could not have been more pissed off about it. It's not like he has anything to do with his day, but then Bill schedules a meeting for him, and he is just livid. How dare you set up an appointment for me? Yeah, I'm good. I'm in there. Like his time is so important. He can't be pulled away from. What does he even do all day? Because he doesn't go to the office unless he feels like it, and that's like sort of his job. But it's mostly like a ceremonial room for him to go to just because his sister owns the business. But he does have a nice car before it got wrecked up. It was a nice car, so maybe he just drives around town and uh, drives. Uh, because I guess he's a good driver. He's not like, say, a gearhead. He likes his car. You know, he likes to spend money, so he wants to drive his fast cars. But I couldn't really say what his hobbies are other than hitting the bottle. But he doesn't sit there and drink all day. Maybe he just goes for a walk and then comes back and drinks, or maybe he reads. It's not like we see him playing an instrument or painting or hey, I'm going backpacking for a weekend, or nothing like that. He doesn't want to get his hands dirty. Thomas Collins says, "So you know about industrial waste with the steel milling? Yeah, that's what they should get into. We should go work for the steel part of the cannery, not the fishing part." All right, yeah, day 5. It is morning. Episode 48 was aired August 31st, 1966. We are in David's bedroom. And he's looking around for the whatever that drawing was that Victoria was looking for last night. David's looking for it too. He's looking under books. He's just looking on shelves. Is it on the floor? No, he just can't find it. But Victoria walks right in, and she's holding a piece of paper, and that's the drawing. And she's, really, I don't think she's being fake about that. It's just kind of really being genuine. She says it's good enough that she wants to show it to a real artist. And David likes the sound of that. Then she mentioned, Roger liked it when she showed it to him. So David takes it out of her hand and just rips it up. And then we get the usual, I hate my dad, I hate you, tantrum. And that's right when Liz walks in, she's got this gift that arrived for David. Liz says, she really says this, is he being rude again? LOL. But it's a big box. It's like about like that. You know, gives it to David, and he's genuinely like it is for me. It's so cute. Like watch the way he says that. But he opens it up. It's a crystal ball. It's I know it as a scrying ball. Scrying is just when you look into a you can look into like a flat like puddle of water, and it's just whatever you can use to gaze into and theoretically like see the future and see other events. It's called scrying. They're not going to use that term. If you catch me using it, it just because I know what that kind of thing is. But it is a crystal ball. If I call it a scrying ball, sorry, it's the same thing. Just stereotypical crystal ball, and nothing fancy, or they're not trying to put special effects into it. What were special effects like back then? So it's just a glass ball with a stand. And it's from Burke Devlin. Something to use to bash Roger's head in. Like, what if he could just chuck it? I don't know if he's got, like, the arm strength for that, but yeah, give this kid a weapon. So down in the foyer, David, he's excited, so he gets on the phone to call Burke and thank him. And he's like, yeah, I got the present, thank you, and all this, and he's super excited. And he mentions he drew a picture of Collinwood for him, but it got torn. That's what it was. It was a really nice drawing of Collinwood that he did, but he tore it up. So as he's, finishing his phone call, Joe arrives. He's got some papers for Liz. And, oh, wrong character. David Collins. He shows off as, like it's heavy too, as little, 9-year-old kid, scrawny kid actor. Like, do you like my crystal ball? And ooh, so Liz comes down. She's got this cute outfit. A lot of these outfits are like we do see them in color, so I'm sort of trying to remember what they were. Liz does wear a lot of black and white. She's a little bit moody, a little bit melancholy. So I want to say this like the base is black. It's so cute. It's got white cuffs and a white collar, like the way the clothes were. It was just like a little bit of a collar turned down, and it goes all the way around. It probably opens up in the back. Same kind of little white, cuffs. And this swirly, it's gonna be on the left hand side. It's like the swirly, fire looking brooch. This little, it's about that big. You wear it at an angle, and it just this little swoopy, swirly, glittery thing. We're gonna see it a lot. Thomas Cowles, a journalist from Ohio, paralleled this with CPS. What with the abuse David has to put up with from his father? So in the living room, Joe's there because no one has seen Bill Malloy since last night. Mrs. Johnson, his housekeeper, said that Bill came home, had dinner at 10 p.m., and then at 10:30 there was a phone call. But as Bill got the phone call, she left to spend the night with her daughter. And he was there when she left. But then when she got there this morning, his bed had not been slept in. She doesn't know who had phoned the night before at 10:30, but he seemed upset. So Liz figures that he must have left between 10:30 and 11 because that's when she phoned. Remember, it was like 11:07, like 10 after 11, whatever. She phones, nobody answered. That's when that was. Kind of needling in on times because this does become important in this little area of the story. So Liz just, she wants to hear from the lady herself. So she calls Bill's house, speaks with Mrs. Johnson, and she said, did Bill mention he was going out of town? Nope. That's nope, nothing there. That's no help. But Victoria comes downstairs. She's looking for David, and she tells Liz that Bill was there before 10 p.m. to see Roger and had demanded to see him, and it was something about a meeting. And has he done this before? She doesn't know Bill Malloy. She doesn't know if he acts like this all the time. This is like, no, that's out of character for him. So back over in the foyer, David is gonna use that ball. I don't know if he's like. I think on the second story because I wrote down that David is gonna use that ball like Mr. Highway. Watch The Good Son. It has Elijah Wood and Macaulay Culkin. Excellent film. Mr. Highway. If you know the reference. But David is just so enthralled with this crystal ball, this gift from his friend Burke, and Joe is just he calls that ball fake. It's like, oh yeah, if your crystal ball is real, use it to find Bill Malloy. And David's like, it can. It can tell me that you're not going to marry Carolyn. My friend Burke is. And then he runs upstairs. So it's 11:30 a.m. in the living room. Liz is saying to Joe to, call her if he hears anything about Bill. So she phones Roger at the office. And so didn't you tell me the last time you saw Bill was yesterday afternoon? Because that's not what I just heard. Get home now. Like, right now. R.N. So up in David's bedroom, he's still looking at this crystal ball. He's like, I want to see what's going to happen. Victoria's like, you won't learn a thing. That's what's going to happen. She's trying to teach him his schoolwork, and he's looking at his toy. She gets some one-liners in there. What's going to happen? You're not going to learn anything. That's what's going to happen. So David asked about Bill Malloy, and he looked into his crystal ball and says he saw him dead, and the person who killed him was Roger. And just a shot of David's bedroom for the credits. So I don't know, is David really seeing this stuff, or is he just, just how he's always on about hating his father? Is he just saying that, and just the fact that the crystal ball is there, we're supposed to think maybe he has some kind of psychic powers, but we don't quite know that yet. Thomas Collins, time to come home. Damn straight. I heard that. Episode 49 aired September 1st, 1966. We're still on that 5th day. It is daytime. We are in the Collinsport Inn, and Maggie is on the phone with Sam. It hasn't seen Bill. Sam won't say why he's looking for. He asked Maggie if she's seen Bill. She hasn't, and Sam won't say why he's looking for him when she asks. Yeah, we still have that phone booth in the same room as the diner. I explained how, you wouldn't have a phone booth that close to you when you're trying to, serve trays of food, but just for the show it makes sense. Practically it does not. So Burke comes in, and he asks Maggie if she's seen Bill. Donuts! Yes, real donuts. I forgot I have donuts. So Maggie says, Carolyn asked about Bill Malloy, then her dad did. Now Burke is. So Joe comes in, and he sits at the counter. And Maggie's flirting with him a little bit. When he sits down, watch her. She kind of gives him, the eye, a little bit extra. A little bit flirty, oh, I didn't know they let you get off of work to get donuts at this time of day. And then Joe asks if she's seen Bill Malloy. She's like, you too. So Burke asks if Roger asked Joe to look for Bill, but Joe won't say why he's asking. Joe is very good about keeping his lips zipped, unless he's drunk. So Carolyn comes in. Her car is in the shop for the next hour. Now, we know that Matthew Morgan always looked at the cars. That's why everybody was so surprised when Roger's car had the accident, because he had looked at it maybe 2 days earlier, made sure it was fine. Now we're to Carolyn taking her car to the shop. So is Matthew just not looking at the cars anymore? Does he just look at Liz's car? Does Carolyn not trust Matthew for some reason, so she's taking her car to the shop? We don't know. That's just me speculating. It never comes up, but that information's out there. But yeah, she's got an hour to kill, and Joe says, oh, well, why don't you kill time with your buddy in Bangor? Ooh. Carolyn's like, really? Well, Burke seems a little bit more worried than anybody else about Bill. That's his old friend. He gave him a job back in the day, so they might not be getting along right now, but they are old friends, so he's worried about him. And he's that worried he wants to leave and go to try to look for the guy. Thomas Collins says, it's over now. You may embrace. I know that's right. They're afraid. Don't be. I will always love you, brother. Right on. Some of these folks are good people that just do bad things, and then some of these people are just doing more bad than good. So maybe it's up to you who exactly, the villain is. We're supposed to think, Burke is because he's trying to take everything from the Collins family, but is that true? Is it really true? We had David try to take his father out. Roger seems to have done shady things. Maybe he's a bad guy and we just don't know about his past yet. So it's a little bit up to the viewer. If you think somebody is the worst character, or, is the big bad, maybe they are. Maybe you think another character is the big bad, and they are. So it's, I don't want to say anybody's right, anybody's wrong, because somebody's always going to watch the show in a completely different way and be like, who the real villain is? Victoria. Out of nowhere. Thomas Collins, yet remember, we call them gentlemen shake hands, we're not huggers. Yeah, they're definitely not overly affectionate in that family. Over at the Evans cottage, it's Sam and Burke. They're having some coffee. Burke is saying that Bill said he had new information about my trial. And Sam's like, yeah, maybe he made a mistake. And men don't like to admit when they made mistakes. So Burke's like, what happened to Bill Malloy? Just wondering aloud. And at the Collinsport Inn, Joe's saying that Liz asked me to look for Bill. Why should Burke Devlin care if Roger asked me to look for him? Why the hell is this dude asking me questions? So Maggie asked Carolyn if Burke mentioned Sam while she was with him in Bangor. Carolyn says no. And then Maggie says she has to leave real quick, but she'll be right back. Is this the first time we've ever seen a coat hung? I think it is. Okay, because there's like I said, in the restaurant there's like the double door to go to the hotel, but then there's just like the one door to go into the restaurant proper. There's a phone over there, and but there's like pegs to hang up a coat, and Maggie like picks up a coat and takes it with her and goes out the door. We've never seen that at Collinwood. It's the first time we've seen a coat hung up. Legit. Thomas Collins, Nick, you rule. Oh, thank you. It's I just feed off of you guys' energy. I can't do it alone. Even though I'm sitting in a room by myself alone, it's so much more awkward to film something by yourself and have nothing to bounce off of rather than doing it live. So I understand why people do things live. You get that instant connection with folks. It's not like recording something and editing it and putting it up and just like I hope people like it. I hope I get comments and feedback and such and this and that. So it's more. It's a little bit more alienating to record and then upload versus going live when it's just all present in the moment. Like I be in the now. That's how I live. I think that's why I like it so much. But yeah, Maggie's like, yeah, well, I'll be back in a half an hour, so just she says something like that to I don't know, tell the customers to just hang out for a minute or something. But Carolyn's like, well, I'm gonna leave as soon as my car's fixed, and Maggie's like, oh well, I guess just tell them to help themselves and just out the door. And this is when I'm like, has Matthew Morgan stopped doing maintenance on Carolyn's car? But Joe tells Carolyn about David's crystal ball and said that she would marry Burke. She doesn't like the sound of that. She doesn't like the idea of a crystal ball deciding her future. So at the Evans cottage, now we're pouring liquor. And Sam is, and he insists he does not know where Bill is. I don't know. He's off fishing. So Maggie comes home, and that's when Burke leaves. Now, over in the Collinwood foyer, Joe, he still wants Carolyn to marry him. But Carolyn, she's not on that. She can't forget about Burke and Collinwood. It's like she can't handle more than one thought at a time. But Burke shows up, and he's there looking for Roger. Roger's not in. Burke calls his office, but he's out. Now nobody can find him. So back at the Evans cottage, Maggie asks Sam if he knows where Bill Malloy is, and are Burke and Roger involved? And Sam he gets mad at her. He tells her to go back to work, and he's tired of the questions. And a shot of the Evans cottage for the credits. Yeah. It's episode 49. Episode 50, September 2nd, 1966. I don't want to have to repeat any of these episodes when I do a show on Monday, but I will. We're still on that 5th day. Well, it's night now. In the introduction, it's Victoria saying that just people are on edge. And then the first place we see is Widow's Hill. But Carolyn's out there. She says she only comes out here at night to look for ghosts. And then Liz has known Bill Malloy for like over 25 years. And says Carolyn says she's never the same girl twice. She's moody. We can start to guess at maybe what her sign is. I'm not gonna say, but I don't know if you're starting to like get a feel for what her sign might be. I sort of was around then. But she checks the time. It's 10:15 p.m. She's wearing a watch that Joe gave her for her 16th birthday, and she just likes to go out there to think. I believe she was out there with Victoria. I don't know why I didn't write that down. Sorry about that. Sometimes my notes get a little bit spotty. I know I didn't think I would remember. Why wouldn't I write that down? But in Collinwood, in the living room, David can't sleep, so he's just been up. So Liz tells him to go up to your room, turn on all the lights, and go to bed. Sometimes that works. I always not out with the lights on. I know that's not good for me, but I pass out from exhaustion every night. Turn on all the lights and go to bed. So over in the foyer, it's that she was Carolyn and Victoria were up on Widow's Hill talking. Now they're back. Liz tells Victoria that David has been seeing ghosts and he can't sleep. So over in the living room, Carolyn goes to the piano and she's playing a Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Oh, that's cute. That's a real piano there. I don't know if everybody can play it. I will say it doesn't come up exactly now. They show it more later. Canonically, we do see Carolyn, the character, playing piano. Not necessarily the actress, but the character. So Victoria's made some tea. And the phone rings. Joe's asking if they've heard from Bill Malloy. And Liz comes back down, and Carolyn tells her about, Joe's call. And Liz is worried about Roger. He should have been home hours ago. So Carolyn and Victoria, they try to distract Liz with tea and ghost stories, and then they're just really just trying to talk about just whatever, just kind of nonsense to just get her mind off of it. But Liz is just too worried about Bill. So it's like, well, it's late, so Carolyn just runs up to bed. And Liz is like, I know what she was gonna say. The two people have jumped from Widow's Hill. Legend says there'll be a third. So we're over in the foyer. Roger comes back home. And he's like, well, I'll tell you all about it after I have a sandwich. So up in Victoria's room, she goes up to her room, turns on the lights, looks at the mirror, and in big capital letters is the word death written right across it. So she goes right across the road, down the hallway, across the hall to David's room, gets him. You want to tell me who wrote this on my mirror? And David's always full of excuses. Oh, he was asleep. The widows did it. Victoria says, the widows have the same handwriting as you. And, David, oh, it wasn't me. I didn't do it. Victoria's like, okay, well, if you didn't do it, I'll just show Liz that you didn't do it. And okay, well, fine. And that's when he, wipes it off. Well, Carolyn comes in. She's a little bit upset. She lost her watch. Like, she just had it up there on Widow's Hill, but she can't just leave it out there all night because the sea air is going to ruin it. And she asked Victoria to go back out there with her tonight to go look for it. In the living room, there's Roger. He's having a glass of milk with his sandwich. There's if you're eating an apple in a scene, everybody knows you're an asshole. Drinking milk. It's a child's drink. So when you see adults drinking it in a film or on stage anywhere, it's either that they are immature or they're just trying to appear like innocent and childlike. Like a person who drinks milk would never do any bad things because they're innocent. They're like a child. That's why there's that. So drinking a glass of milk. Any other drink he has, it has an alcohol content except this time. Maybe that means something. I just haven't had milk in a long time either. Maybe that's why I noticed. But Roger's got a whole story. He's like, oh, well, I drove to Bill's cousin's house, but they haven't seen or heard from him in days. And Liz is not buying it. Like, you were arguing with Bill last night. What about? And Roger, Bill wanted to talk about some accounts that didn't add up. So Carolyn comes in and she's looking for the watch, kind of looking around, like maybe I dropped it inside, but you know when you really lost something, but you're still looking around, like hopefully it's not where you think it is, like that kind of searching. But she, just like glancing around, she's not seeing it. Like, yeah, I lost my watch. I guess it's not here, so I'm just gonna go out to down to Widow's Hill because that's the last time I had it. And then we hear a scream, a loud screech in real life girl scream. We're at Widow's Hill. It's Victoria Winters. She's freaking out, looking down at the water, screaming, losing her shit. And we see the water, and holy shit, there's a body floating face down in the water. Widow's Hill credits. Fuck. First dead body. Wow. It's it's really scary in the moment. It's not like that, you know, like a disembodied lady crying. This is a full on scream. Yikes. So, episode 51. This aired. Was that a Friday show? I don't keep track of that kind of stuff. Yeah, it must have been a Friday show. That's a terrible way to. It's Friday. Have fun with your weekend. Anyway, so again, episode 51, September 5th, 1966. We're on that fifth night. We are at Widow's Hill. And in the introduction, it's Victoria saying that Collinwood has a history of sudden and violent death. And we get it again. It's Victoria screams down at the water. We get that whole reaction thing again. But over in the living room, Liz is worried, and she's saying that Bill is the most reliable person she knows. So Roger says if Bill's away, it's deliberate. So Carolyn and Victoria run in. Carolyn was with the Victoria on Widow's Hill. I guess she was. Yeah, that's correct. I know I didn't mention she was there at the end of the last episode. That's my bad. I guess Carolyn was up there with her. So they both saw it at the same time. It was Victoria screaming, though. But they come running in a panic. They saw a dead man on the rocks. So Liz picks up the phone right away, calls Matthew Morgan, tells him to go check it out. And suggests that maybe it wasn't a body, it was just a trick of the light. Roger says, or seaweed. And that's when Roger mentions a bride and a governess have died at Widow's Hill. And the girls are upset. So Liz says hot cocoa will help the girls sleep. So they head to the kitchen. Usually they drink tea, but apparently when you see a dead body, you have to reach for your Florida Man catastrophic chocolate that is no longer for sale in order to calm down. That's the thing. You don't need any alcohol. You don't need a pill. Hot cocoa after you see a dead body makes everything okay. Don't know. Haven't had a chance to try it. Try it out in your real life. I never went to a funeral and then had hot chocolate. But Liz tells Roger she asked Ned to take Bill's job. And Roger was not happy about that. I guess he didn't like Ned either. So over in the foyer, Matthew Morgan comes back. He said he searched all along the coast, all the way up and down twice. There's no body. The girls do not believe it. Like Carolyn insists she and Victoria saw something. Roger's like, yeah, the body could have floated out to sea. So Liz goes, she speaks with Roger in the living room. And Victoria asks Carolyn if Matthew would have any reason to lie. Maybe. Oh, Thomas Collins says, the road where it goes, I don't know. And the road becomes my bride. Yep, gotta love travel. So in the living room, Roger's saying that the girls saw some seaweed is all. You should get some sleep. And Liz thought Matthew was behaving strangely when he came back in, saying, "Oh, I searched up and down the coast. I didn't see anything." Well, like he says it, and you want to believe him, but I didn't 100% believe him. So Roger goes and phones it's some night owl. I don't know why he calls him that. Have they heard from Bill? No. Oh, okay. All right, so we are at the cottage, Matthew Morgan's cottage. The one that I built in Minecraft. So Matthew thought he would find Bill. And if people don't, it's been a whole day since anybody in town's really seen him, and people in town don't think that he's away on business. He's telling this to Liz. So Liz asked Matthew to show her what he saw so she can tell Carolyn. Like, I want to see what you saw and put all of this to rest. So over in the living room, Carolyn and Victoria are going to go to Widow's Hill to look again since Matthew said it was nothing. And they ask Roger to come with them, but Roger doesn't want to go out to stare at the water. I'm not looking at that shit. So over at Widow's Hill, it's Matthew and Liz. So Matthew, is like, well, that's, if you look right over there in the rocks, that's it right there. That's what I saw. It is some seaweed. Like, Liz gasped. Like, watch her reaction. Like, just her gasp. Like, oh my God. It's like you would think she saw a dead body. But apparently it's just seaweed. So in the living room, Roger doesn't want David to hear about this. So Victoria mentions how David wrote death on her mirror. And that's when Liz comes back and saying, yeah, you know what, Matthew Morgan showed it to me. It is just some seaweed. That's when she mentioned, yeah, David said his crystal ball said Bill was dead and Roger killed him. And shot of the cottage for the credits. Oh, we owe you, Bill Cooper. You did a great gasp reaction there, Nikki, just saying, oh, thank you. I'll have to watch it back. I cannot do anything Joan Bennett does. Oh my God, this woman. I want to watch her old stuff because she was acting back in the 20s and 30s. Also, she's one of those ones. A lot of ladies seem to have done this back then. Like, she kind of overdraws her top lip a bit. It doesn't look odd or anything like that. It looks like, you'll notice on a close-up when you really look, but it looks so cute on her. I don't care what she has to do. She's gorgeous. Episode 52 was September 6, 1966. We're still on that fifth night. And in the intro, Victoria's saying that Bill Malloy mystery, right now, that's more important than finding out about her past. I would say so. A dead guy or a missing guy that you think is dead is a little bit more important than your backstory right now. So in Victoria's room, Carolyn is telling her to lock her door. Victoria's like, is it always like this? And that's when Carolyn just talking about how, just everybody thinks everything up at Collinwood is spooky. The locals think Liz is a witch. And it wasn't like this around there until Burke Devlin arrived. And Victoria says, well, she's staying until she finds the information about herself that she needs. So, like, David being creepy and a possible dead guy is not going to scare her away. And Carolyn is sure that they saw a dead body. And there's a fierce tide along the coast. There's a tide and there's an undertow that makes it dangerous to swim there. Liz would never let her swim there as a child. And Bill is the closest thing that she's ever had to a father. And she can't believe that body was him. That's sad because she doesn't have a dad, and then she projects those feelings onto Roger, and then here's this dude, and he might not be alive anymore. And just, that's a bummer. Oh, B-Chap's back. Great. So at the Evans cottage, Sam is he just looks distracted. He always seems to have something on his mind. And Maggie's saying it's almost 1 a.m. So it's day 6. Day 5 was so short. It's day 6 already. Wow. Time is flying. So Sam is worried about Bill. And that's when Maggie's mentioning how the summer people come to Collinsport for fresh air. So they have a tourist season too. I get it. This town has one. I've always lived here, basically, so I know what that's like. It's summer people. So Sam tells her about the meeting last night at the office. And that's when Maggie mentions that the letter that Sam wrote to her that she has in the Collinsport Inn safe. And Sam reminds her that is not to be opened unless something happens to him. So in Victoria's room, Carolyn keeps hearing something slam close. But she knows what all the shutters sound like. So Victoria thinks it's David. She checks on him, but he's legitimately in his room sleeping. He's not to blame for once. Carolyn saying, like, she does not think a lost birthday present is worth all this trouble. And Victoria thinks it is, because she doesn't know her exact birthday. And then she says, it's a real cute line read the way she does it. I can't imitate it, but she says, when you haven't had something, it becomes important. Because again, she was just found with that note in the winter. Later on, we do get a canonical birthday for her. We don't find that out for, I don't know if we find that out immediately. Not, what I'm thinking of doesn't happen for a few hundred episodes. It comes up. But really, all we know is winter, so I guess maybe she just picked a day, or they just picked a day. You gotta write something. So at the Evans cottage, Maggie is saying, well, at least lie down if you can't sleep. And Sam saying that Burke doesn't forgive and forget. He says, you're the one with the job. You get some sleep. Then Sam, again, it's 1 a.m. or it's almost 1 a.m. Sam picks up the phone and calls Collinwood. Just wake up the whole house just to hang up when Victoria answers the phone. Let it ring, ring, ring. Everything's made out of stone. This phone is going to echo through the entire house in the middle of the night. Everybody can hear it. Somebody finally gets to a phone because it's like all the phones are downstairs. Dick. So Victoria's down there in the foyer just with the, had a deadline. I guess they hung up. So Carolyn joins her. And then they both jump when they hear a noise behind the living room door. But then they go inside, they're scared, they look inside. It was just that one window was just left open, flapping in the breeze. But they close the window, then they look over, and they're like the whole room. It's like there's like a giant carpet that has the sofa and some chairs sitting on it, and like right there, sort of in the middle of the room. It's this giant, thick, heavy. It's like one of those family history books, just lying on the floor. And nobody left it there, so Victoria just picks it up and drops it and just crash, just makes that loud boom sound. Like, I think that's what we heard. And Victoria says, maybe a cat came in and knocked the book on the floor. Carolyn says she's never seen a cat at Collinwood. So then Victoria sets the book on. Like I said, there's like that table in front of the camera. She just sets it on that table. This is the first legitimate spooky thing to happen, because as they set the book down, they leave the room. We get like a close-up shot of the book. There's no hands around, but the book opens on its own. And it starts flipping to the page. Now it gets to where it says Josette Collins, born 1810, died 1834. Again, no human hand touched this book. It opened on its own. This is a legitimate spooky ghost thing happening in that house. Not David knocking something over. Yikes. So at the Evans cottage, Maggie is still up. We go from a shot of Josette in that book to a shot of Maggie Evans. That'll make sense later. So she asks Sam, why did you call Roger? And Sam says, well, Roger doesn't want Burke to have a reason to say Collinsport like having his picture painted. And Maggie says, you're not a good liar. And just saying how they used to, confide in each other, and it's just you can just tell they had a close relationship, and he's just been shut down the last 10 years, and it's just really sad. And Sam's like, well, that was before. Maggie's like, before what? He doesn't elaborate. Never does. So in Victoria's bedroom, Carolyn asks if she thinks Bill Malloy called. It's like, well, if he called, he would have asked for Liz. And Victoria says, that's something a drunk would do. Call and then forget why. Carolyn says, Bill Malloy has always had a crush on Liz. He'd never do anything to make her worry. So Victoria is saying that Bill was at Collinwood asking, or Burke Devlin was at Collinwood asking about Bill. And Carolyn said, why didn't you tell me? Victoria said, he wasn't here to see you. Carolyn's like, oh, well, as long as he wasn't just here to see you. Bitch. Speak, Burke. So at the Evans cottage, it's Maggie saying that Bill Malloy thought you had some information and gave me the third degree. And she's piecing it together. She figures that the information is in the letter, and she says that she's going to read it because she thinks it will get Sam out of trouble. But Sam grabs her by the arm. And he makes her swear on her mother's name that she's never going to read it. I mean, he's grabbing her like, swear to me, Meg, you got to promise me. And he's all up in her face, and you can tell she's scared. She's like, I don't have to swear. She's like, I promise I won't read it, and I've never broken a promise to you. It's tense. It's kind of scary. It's almost as scary like you thought he was going to hit her. It's almost scarier than that. And but before I just I guess I didn't catch this at the time. I had to sleep. The reason Carolyn is hanging out in Victoria's rooms, she's just jumpy about seeing a dead body, so she's just gonna crash in the same room as Victoria because she's just spooked. And a shot of the Evans cottage for the credits. Oh yeah, I guess that's a good place to stop for now. Yeah. Oh man, am I almost up to another recap? Holy crap, I'm flying through these. How long does this go? Episode 64. Okay. Yeah, I'm flying through these. Recap. How to recap? Yeah, it is. Okay. I just write them different than I did the first time. I try to put in I'll put a little note on the side so I know I can know at a glance what characters are in what episode, so I don't have to like read through every single line to try to find. It's like, okay, so I just got it right there, so I can see it right away. So that when I do a recap, before they were a little bit jumbled, so I try to like, okay, if I'm talking about this character, let me get all my thoughts together for that, write that down, make a note of who I spoke about, then that leads into another character, just try to keep everything organized. It's something you can do on a computer. It's something I would do on a computer if my eyes were better. I love Excel. Thomas Collins, Grapes of Wrath, Steinbeck, hello. This book is dedicated to Tom Collins and his wife Carolyn, who lived it. Wow. That's hmm. Oh, I'm thinking of I was thinking of a different same actress playing a different character in one of the Dark Shadows. It's either House of Dark Shadows or Night of Dark Shadows. The second one, the second one. Don't get into those until you have watched all of regular Dark Shadows, just because it's a little bit difficult to cut off. Like, okay, if you watch this far into Dark Shadows, then you can watch House of Dark Shadows, but it really is a Dark Shadows speed run any percent. So you'd just be watching like the show proper, and then you would watch an hour and a half speed run of it. Some tweaks. It is good. It is interesting, but I would say like put some more time between. Don't like watch all of that in the show and then immediately jump into the movie. It seems like it's too much too fast and it might be too repetitive. But like watch the whole series, get it all out of your system. Then it almost feels like you're going back to sort of not Dark Shadows the beginning, but just where this movie kind of covers in the story, which we're not up to yet. And then Night of Dark Shadows, you would have to wait longer just because it has actors in there that are on Dark Shadows, but they're not on the show yet. So you'll be watching it like, who is he? Who is she? Oh, it's him, but he's playing a different actor. Oh, it's him, but he's playing a different character. Oh, it's her, but she's playing a different character. And she's playing a different character. She's playing the same character, but it and they were in theaters too. Arden's seen them. I'm so pissed off she got to see those. I'm not pissed off she got to see them. I'm pissed off that I didn't get to see them in the theater. So yeah, Bill wanted to have a meeting, and then all of a sudden nobody can find him, and then there's a floater. Thomas Collins, time jumping is confusing. They do it in such a way that it's not confusing. It's not like Back to the Future Part 2, where like you're like seeing the characters do something else from another perspective. It doesn't get crazy like that. If they're gonna jump to another point in time, we're there for a minute. And by a minute, I mean 100 episodes. Like I shit you not. Almost exactly for one of them. I'm like, wait, what? When did we go back in time? And now we're on. Dude, it's like 100 episodes. What the hell? Did they plan that? I don't know, but that's just the way it works out one time, and it's not if we're dealing with a completely separate, say, timeline, then we're getting separate characters that we're not used to from the prior timeline. So it's not like we're dealing with it's the same name, but they're just acting completely different. Like they actually go ahead and give the characters different names, so we're not, Carolyn is not Carolyn all the time we see her play characters. For example, spoilers. I just watched a good movie today that you now that you bring that up, Chap. He's been watching some movies. What did I watch? It was a Christoph Waltz film. Love him and everything. But this one, I was on Tubi. Tubi is free. That's how I was watching Dark Shadows. I mean, I've got it on DVD because I've got an addiction, but it is on free. It is free on Tubi right now. Link in the description for the channel and the show. They've got the Mummy on here now? Dude, finally, they've got like the Mummy from 1999 on Tubi. Sometimes they take it away, now they've got it put back. Thank you, thank you. Right in time for New Year's Day. But what did I watch? It was okay. Yeah, I had never heard of this before. It's called Dead for a Dollar. It came out in 2022. Christoph Waltz, Willem Dafoe. Come on now, and then like other. Oh, that was Benjamin Bratt. I gotta watch that again. I didn't realize that was him. Oh, and I like him. That's bad. I guess I wasn't paying that too close attention. It's a western. It's a western. I don't want to spoil anything, but at first I'm like, I mean, I love Django Unchained. Love him so much in that. Dr. King Schultz cannot get enough of that dude. So at first I'm like, yeah, yeah, sure, I'll watch him play a western again. Sure, why not? It's not like he hasn't done this stuff before. A good film. It was like a half an hour into it, and I'm like, damn, all this shit's going down. How long is this movie? It's not. It's been like 26 minutes. Hot damn, it's a lot happens. I was not bored. It ended, and I'm like, that's that. There's nothing else to say at that point. But I'm like, I wanted more. So it was good like that. Powerhouse too. I mean, Willem Dafoe just chews up the scenery and anything he's in, and Christoph Waltz got all those Oscars for a reason. I've brought up the Zero Theorem before. They do still have that. I like that again. I like how it ends. You get through that whole movie and it's all Terry Gilliam and lights and colors and things and stuff going on, and not everything makes sense and weirdness, and then you just get through all that in the end, and the character's like, yeah, no, it's nope. I what do I have to go back to? Spoilers. That's good. Thomas Collins says that's why I go with Tim Burton's Barnabas. Now, do you prefer the Dark Shadows from 2012, the Tim Burton film, over like the TV show, or the Dark Shadows films that they made in the 70s? I mean, it's okay if you do. Everybody is different. It's just like how with Puff's Gaming 81. I believe I thought this before, and he just said it in a video that he's probably the only person who enjoyed the Minecraft movie. Anybody else who's brought, I haven't watched any reviews about it. I don't care about it because it's just green screen slop. Every single shot. Hold on, let me get dead center in front of the camera. Every single shot is the camera is directly looking at the actor. Why can't I get my hair straight? And everything is flat, so everything behind them is just because it's green screen, so whatever adding back there is fake. So like you're looking directly at the camera, you're delivering your lines. The other actor in the scene is looking directly at the camera, delivering their lines. But we're not getting shots like this, we're not getting shots like that. It's always like this when there's dialogue. If there's stuff moving around, we'll get a shot of that. If somebody has to stop and speak, we're back to this. If there's action going around, you can't, nothing makes sense because none of it's real, and then somebody says something and it's a still shot, and then we get wackiness again. So if you enjoy film, you're going to be bored by modern films very quickly because you're really only seeing three kinds of shots. You're getting the stationary shot, the action shot, and the credits. It's boring. You don't realize how bored you are until you notice, like, I'm seeing the same shots every single time, and you get bored that way. So I don't want to watch it. I don't like Jack Black anymore. I didn't realize Steve was so old and fat. I didn't know he was Steve. I just found that out a couple of weeks ago. So like Steve the character is not okay, whatever. But nobody who's mentioned, like, I watch, people who play Minecraft, so they watch the movie. None of them like it. Puff did. He said that was his style of humor, so he enjoyed it. But it sounds like absolutely nobody else on the planet did. But that's okay. That's okay. You can be the one person who prefers, because on the whole, when you get into Dark Shadows, you really hear people talking massive amounts of smack about the Tim Burton version, they rain shit down on that film so bad, like it came into their house and just slapped them in the face. You really do have to consider it. It's like the films. It's its own separate timeline, its own separate thing. It does have its good parts. I'll be honest with you. I paid for my 3D ticket. If it was an IMAX, that's what I got. Just whatever the most expensive way to see a movie is, I'm gonna go see it. The 3D was only there for one scene. It was a lovemaking scene that did not need to be in the film at all. Could have completely edited that out, and it probably would have made the film better. But they got my money. It does have a few actors from the show cameo in it. In one scene, it does have its cute moments, but do not watch that film thinking it's going to be holding up to the TV show. You're not going to get the same Carolyn, the same David, the same Roger. There is there are a couple other characters who are not on the TV show yet who are in the movie. Who they are on the TV show is nothing like how they are in the Tim Burton film at all. They're literally just there to be in the scene as filler, which a lot of movies are like that. You watch older films, they give the side characters something to do. They're not just in the scene to agree with the main characters. They might have their own subplot, they make them interesting. They don't do that now. So now they just have a few main characters and other people who are just there to like stand there and be in the scene and react. So they have more characters than I mentioned, but they are just there as filler. Of course, they have Johnny Depp as Barnabas. He grew up watching that show, so it's something he's more into. Uh, I would say the character who's closest to who they are on the TV show is honestly Michelle Pfeiffer as Elizabeth Collins Stoddard. She does a very good job just being this, spoilers for, a 2012 movie, just this respectable, dignified, like really the only difference is the hair color. Really, I was not, you can tell she was studying some Joan Bennett, and I like Michelle Pfeiffer anyway. So that was, if you really want to compare anything to the original show, she's the closest thing to it. You do have to understand this is a movie that came out in 2012 discussing the 60s. So it's really going to be some stereotypical stuff that people wanted to see, what people think the 60s were like from a 2012 perspective. So, like, keep that in mind. It is of its time. And it's, like Tim Burton was getting more like he's just getting paid too much and too Disney-fied, and it's we're getting closer to the, I don't know exactly when the Alice in Wonderlands came out. I saw them both. I don't know if I saw them in the theater. The second one is just, I'm gonna say it starts out good, and then it's like, why is Sacha Baron Cohen here? What? But yeah, it's sort of in the era where he's just getting to CGI, and it's when I think of Tim Burton, I'm thinking of like Edward Scissorhands, Beetlejuice, stuff like that. Not just you start getting money and you start becoming commercial and making the safe choices, and like on the one hand I understand that, but on the other hand you're an artist, so you need to be true to your creative. Like how tight is money that you have to be like sucking at the Disney teat for every film? I don't know, man. I don't know, but it's okay. It's a movie. I'm pretty sure the Tim Burton Dark Shadows is on YouTube. It's like one of those movies that's free with ads. I've never watched a movie on YouTube that's like specifically what one of their films free with ads. I'll watch somebody else upload it, like watch it that way, but it is available to watch. It's worth checking out. Again, watch the TV show first. Otherwise, some of the stuff will not make sense at all. You'll wonder why certain things happen in that movie, but not in the TV show. Watch the TV show first. I really hope the audio held out. I don't want to have to start. It's bad enough that I've had to watch everything again. I don't want to have to start repeating my own shows back at you guys because I can't remember everything I say. I don't like doing a second take. I'm not as good the second time, so that's where I'm gonna suffer. I don't want that to have to be. I don't want to have to repeat everything I've done. So hopefully that was the first time getting up to episode where we at episode 52 we stopped at. So we will keep on going through. We'll have a recap definitely next time. I'm going to be live Monday the 6th, Tuesday the 7th, and Friday the 10th. Frank is still up looking for Bigfoot. So it's going to be me on Monday and Tuesday, Frank Wednesday and Thursday, me on Friday, and on Saturday, a week from today, New Year's Day, I'm going to shout out everyone who has ever super chatted into the channel. I'll go through both of those apps and hurt my eyes looking at the white mode just to write down every single name to shout them out because you guys are awesome. And it's if you guys could look at the app to super chat at me, then I can look at it to say you guys' names back. Because I appreciate that. That's going to help me out. I have gotten some super chats on the show. Link in the description for the channel and the show. That is going to be getting me as far as it can into year 26, which starts on a week from today. So yeah, I can't say I'm excited for anything because I was in a good mood today and then I got the bad audio, so I just don't want anything to get worse for a week and a few days. Could that happen? But yeah, you guys are awesome for having a couple extra hours to spend with me on a Saturday. I love seeing all you guys. Smash that like button right meow on the way out. You can leave your pants on the floor if you're going to be back on Monday and Tuesday. Thomas Collins says, I love you guys. Yeah, thank you guys for showing up and being Franklies and being awesome and being based and sexy. So get some good sleep, have a good meal, smoke out on the balcony, watch some Dark Shadows. Oh, we owe you. Bill Cooper says, take care up there, Nikki. Hope to catch you on Monday night. Oh, yeah, sure thing. I am planning on being here. Let's see. Dark Shadows is free. Minecraft is $30 plus tax, so 3201. If you get into that, play Java, and then start following Swaley and Pups Gaming 81. Those guys do good work. They're Zoomers. They're so young, but they know what they're doing. It's so nice to see that. Yeah, the shirt is Grace Still Plays, Not Today Satan. Link in the description for that as well. Dandy, my pants, LOL. Yeah, what's up? Glad you made it. Yeah, so I will catch you guys in a couple of days. That's the plan for me anyway. So thank you for giving me a platform where I can see you guys at least once a week. It's been twice this week and a lot more next week. So you guys make all of it worth it. I would not still be alive without you guys. So I'm glad we can keep each other going for as long as we can. Because I am only around for you guys. Stuff got bad a year and a half ago. I had to make a decision. And I decided the Franklies were the most important thing. So want to go to, so thank you so much, Nikki. Till next time. Yeah, you guys are the best. Oh, I could have had my Twitch window a little bit bigger this whole show. That's all right. So thanks again. Love you guys. Let me get right in the middle of the shot in case they're gonna put some CGI behind me. Get a fake Minecraft world or big explosions or World War II. We're storming the beaches of Normandy and other nonsense. Just straight, everything's straight on, everything perfect and neat and just airbrushed. Yeah, not here. So thanks again, you guys. Until next time.